Hey guys, this is just a quick video to explain how I removed all stutter from running Forza Motorsport on my 3080, and I'm running this at 4K and I'm running it on Ultra. So before I talk through any of the actual settings I'll walk you through, the first step that's absolutely critical is you need to disable hardware accelerated GPU scheduling in Windows in your graphics settings. So that's the first thing. Second thing is you have to go into your BIOS and disable Resizable bar. That one is something that you probably would never think to do, but if you don't do that, it's gonna stutter. All right, now, believe it or not, that's not it. So depending on if you're using a display that has variable refresh rate or not, I'm running the game on two different setups as far as a monitor. This monitor does not have that variable refresh rate or, depending on what type of graphics card you're using. If you're using AMD or NVIDIA, it's G-Sync, AMD is FreeSync. If you aren't running a monitor that's capable of that and you're running at a locked, let's say 60 frames per second, then you're gonna make sure you enable VSync 60 FPS. It's really important that you set it to 60 FPS VSync and not unlocked or anything like that, because the game automatically adjusts performance to some degree based on what you pick there. So in other words, I could have everything perfect this way, but if I set this to unlocked, it's gonna stutter. Same thing with 60 FPS in this case. So again, if you're running a setup that doesn't allow variable refresh rate or FreeSync or G-Sync on your monitor, then set this to 60 FPS. Anisotropic filtering 8x. If you're on NVIDIA, you're gonna enable ray tracing. Again, I'm on a 3080. I have full reflections in RTAO. I would not set it to RTGI. Did not look right on my setup. RTAO quality, that's the ray tracing quality, set that to medium. RTGI doesn't matter because we're not using that type of ray tracing, so I just have that set to auto. It won't make any difference anyway. Shadow quality, high. Cube map reflection, high. Car model, high. Car library, high. Windshield reflection, high. Mirror quality, high. Mirror shown in all views, off. Track texture quality, high. Particle effects quality, high. Motion blur quality, high. Motion blur in cockpit, I have off. You might still get fine results with it on, but I'm running it off. I've done it both ways. Lens flare quality, high. All right, so that's the first thing. Now, if you're using, let's say, a higher refresh monitor like that has 120 hertz capability or higher, or really anything, and also has either G-Sync or FreeSync capabilities where you have that enabled, the variable refresh rate, then you're gonna set this to 60 FPS without the VSync. So just set this to 60 FPS. Even if your monitor can go higher, that's totally fine, but it's not gonna run stably without stutters. This is gonna run really well. Now, as far as the other setting that you're going to want to look at, I'm going to show you the rest of the display settings. And again, this is running at 4K with 0 stutters. Dynamic render quality, ultra. Resolution 3840 by 2160. Resolution scale, set this to 100. I know people have messed around with setting this higher. Honestly, if you do this right, it's going to look sharp and crisp. You're not going to have to worry about upscaling the resolution. Just set it at 100. Trust me, it's gonna look amazing. Now, this is super important. Set TAA to on. You don't wanna use DLSS if you're on an NVIDIA card. Even if you set this to DLAA, you're gonna notice ghosting and things are not going to look sharp. So this is, again, not intuitive. Set TAA on as your anti-aliasing, and then you're going to get your full 3840 by 2160 resolution, and it's going to look really, really sharp and clear. These settings completely transformed the game for me into something that was stuttering periodically with micro stuttering to just perfectly smooth every time. And I'm just going to close out by saying, if you did all of these steps that are in the game settings, it's still not enough. I just want to reiterate, you have to go in to Windows and disable hardware accelerated GPU scheduling. If that's enabled, you're going to get periodic micro stutters. You need to disable that, and then you need to go into your BIOS and you need to disable resizable bar. That's very counterintuitive, because normally you're always going to have that enabled, and it's going to be enabled by default, and you're going to get higher performance in other games in some cases by having that on, like Cyberpunk. You have to turn it off. If you do those things and you do all of this, you're going to be enjoying a stutter-free game on your 3080 or higher. You might be able to go higher settings if you're on a 4080.